Welcome to my channel. Today I will be reviewing and talking about A Knight of the 7/9 Kingdoms created by none other than George R.R. Martin and Ira Parker. I'll admit when this show was announced, I was a bit skeptical. Most fandoms today, like the MCU, like to tell, for the most part, a chronological story. So creating a show that takes place in the middle of House of Dragon and Game of Thrones felt odd, especially because House of Dragons is in the middle of its telling. Boy, was I wrong. I failed to remember that Game of Thrones is our history, fantasized. History is woven together in so many different threads. Westeros is no different. The strength of this universe is in its detailed, rich lore. Family trees spanning hundreds of years, generations of knights known by the maesters and unknown, rebellions, kings and queens, fathers and bastards. This show proved it's perfect for right now. We are in the middle of House of Dragon, but I think over time both shows being released will only strengthen each other. Questions of how did the Targaryens lose their dragons? We will find out in House of the Dragon. You know, that scene of Damsel killing the dragon in that play in episode 3, that was unheard of in the world of Westeros before House of the Dragon. After House of the Dragon, we will see how that scene is believable now. We got a bit of a taste of that in season 2 when they're dragging Melanie's through the King's Landing and all of the common folk are seeing that the gods can be killed. We'll see more of that in House of the Dragon going forward, but it strengthens Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. Can you believe we used to be dragon lords? Daeron Targaryen says to Duncan. When he says that, you think of Daemon, you think of Rhaenyra, you think of all the dragon riders during House of the Dragon, and as the story goes on, we'll see the diminished power the Targaryens have, why they're at Ashford to start Knight of the Seven Kingdoms directly connects to House of the Dragon. There's a new form of power now that they have to understand they have. It's no longer I can just hop on a dragon and burn shit. We have to actually play the Game of Thrones. I'm currently even reading A Storm of Swords, which you see behind me. And during Davos Seaworth's chapter, he talks about Aerion Brightflame and Summerhall. Did we learn nothing from Aerion Brightflame? Nothing good ever comes from the dreams of dragons. The show never shies away from being dark while being a great comedy. The tone balance from the creator Ira Parker must be applauded. He does what a lot of throne shows simply can't do and gives us a comfort watch. I want to be on an adventure with Duncan and Egg. I want to make a goose egg breakfast sandwich with them. It's fun and this world is made to feel comfortable until it doesn't. But that blend is what Ira found so well. Duncan Egg cooking that goose egg sandwich, like I mentioned, was a delightful scene. Or Lionel Baratheon, the MVP of this series, and Duncan dancing in the tent or playing tug of war, paired with when Baelor's talking to Duncan right after Duncan committed this crime against Aerion, and he's saying one need not intend harm to cause it, or foreshadowing how he might team up with Duncan, asking him over and over again, how good of a knight are you? You get these philosophical questions intertwined with a story of a one-armed whore. Even that silly song has a moral question of it, of what does it mean to be remembered? Season 1 works because it trusts the audience understanding George's writing. You should be skeptical of everything, but we're not going to tell you, we're going to show you. I simply cannot wait for Season 2. Season 2, we will be getting the famous Dornish redemption story. No, not the one George wrote, the one we deserve. The terrible depiction of the Martells in the Game of Thrones main series, other than Pedro Pascal as Oberyn Martell. We can all agree he was absolutely fabulous. The rest of Dorne, awful. Time for redemption, and I trust in Ira Parker to deliver. This isn't a movie, so we won't be leaving a letterboxd review number score on it, but you know what? It's a 5 out of 5. It's up there with some of the best Game of Thrones content. I'd love to bring more Westeros content to this channel, so please let me know in the comments, what you thought of my opinion. What's your favorite Knight of the Nine Kingdoms? And let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to bring you guys more of my thoughts on Westeros. I absolutely love this universe. Please stay tuned and subscribe, as this Friday we'll be releasing Resident Evil Requiem, and I'm very excited to be playing that, and I will be dropping gameplay videos on my channel. So subscribe and turn on your notifications for that. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next one.